Mark my words, Robert Whittaker will be the next UFC middleweight champion of the world. Now, before we get on to Robert Whittaker's fight versus Aliskerov last night, we'll be talking about the rest of the card, how the card went, fight results, what could have been done better, everything like that. So stay tuned until the end of the video to hear about Robert Whittaker, Aliskerov. So once again, sit back, grab yourself a sneak, grab yourself a fucking, I don't know, food, and enjoy the rest of the video, guys. Now, starting off the main event, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but we had Nasrat Akparas versus Jared Gordon. Now, personally, in my opinion, the scorecard swayed the wrong way. I thought Jared Gordon just about nicked that fight. I think he nicked the last round. It was a close fight. It was a close fight. I think Nasrat in the first round had a lot more success on the feet, a lot more success with his striking, accurate punches. But in the second round, Gordon picked up the pace. He started trying to get them takedowns. Then he had a lot of success on the feet. I'm pretty sure he hurt Nasrat at the end of the round as well. So I'm giving Jared Gordon the second round. Now, the third round was a very, very close round until about the final minute. I just thought Jared Gordon outstriked him, landed the better punches. The last 30 seconds, Gordon was fucking all over him, landing punches flush, making Nasrat miss. The only issue I had with what Gordon was doing that entire fight, he was shooting for these takedowns, but had absolutely no success. He was a bit like a broken record. He kept doing it. He kept doing the same thing. When really, if he just stayed on the feet and focused on his striking, I think he could have won a little bit more convincingly. But at the end of the fight, Nasrat Akparas won a majority decision, 29-28, to win that fight. Now, a fight that really baffled me, okay, was the fight after. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Is it Yezdemir? Is it Ozdemir? I'm going to call him Ozdemir. Ozdemir Johnny Walker was odd. I don't know what Johnny was doing at all. It was very odd. He was kind of just sat on the back foot, backing up until he was backed up against the cage. And he'd throw singular punches off the back of the cage. It was almost like he was looking to counter the shots. So he'd sit back and wait for Ozdemir to throw, but he wouldn't throw anything back. He'd throw a singular shot back at him, like a jab, but it was a weak, flimsy jab. I mean, I think at the end of the day, he was literally asking to be knocked out. It was a weird game plan. I don't even know if that was part of the game plan or not. But due to his minimal striking off the back of the cage and just a very odd defensive approach to that fight, it got him knocked out early in the first round. It was just a completely one-sided fight for the how long it took. Like a minute and a half, 2 minutes for the finish. So there really isn't much to talk about in this one. Johnny Walker got absolutely folded and slept. So, but I could say the refereeing could have been better. Refereeing could have been much better. He didn't need to get fucking sparked out. I just feel like if he snapped something back after that jab, it would have meant that Ozdemir would have become less offensive and would have maybe backed up a little bit more. He gave his opponent the freedom to just walk forward and do what he wanted. He dictated that fight. But anyway, that's all there is to say about that fight. It was over very, very, very quickly. Next up, we had Magomedov. Next up, Antonio Triculi fought Magomedov on short notice and got knocked out. I had Magomedov losing the first 2 rounds. He was really, really struggling with the grappling of Antonio. I just feel he didn't allow him to do what he wanted to do on the feet. As you know, Magomedov's got like a 90-something% finish rate, which is insane. This fight all came down to the last round. Triculi allowed him to stay on the feet, and let's be real, not the most intelligent decision. Considering you might have won the first 2 rounds, why wouldn't you just keep doing what you're doing? Anyway, Magomedov lands a flush shot, lands a knee to the head, and then ended up finishing him. The man's undefeated, all right? But there are a lot of flaws in his game. The most obvious one primarily being his grappling skill. When was the last time you saw a Dagestani that cannot fucking grapple? Never. They all know how to grapple. Now, obviously, Bo Nickel has called this man out, and we all fucking know why. Bo Nickel, a world-class grappler, fighting someone who has no fucking grappling whatsoever. Bo Nickel, you cheeky little bastard. Next up was Kelvin Gastelum versus Rodriguez. A completely one-sided fight. Rodriguez having absolutely no success on the feet and on the ground as well. Kelvin Gastelum mixing it up very well. Striking, Ground game, lovely. Now, most notably, what I noticed was Kelvin Gastelum parrying away the hands of Rodriguez and throwing the left over the top. Worked every time. It was the same in the second round and it was the same in the third round. You know, Rodriguez looked absolutely helpless. He did not know what to do. Gastelum threw left calf kicks to start off a combo and then threw a backhand after to finish it off. He did this the whole fight. It was a completely one-sided bout. Let's be real. He's not in Dana's good books at the moment. His post-fight interview was, in a way, he was begging, pretty much. He was like trying to kind of flatter Dana, you know, trying to get on his good side. Alexander Volkov absolutely battered Sergey Pavlovich. I don't even know what he was trying to do. It was, at times it was like he was trying to keep him at range, and then at sometimes he'd kind of just sit in the pocket and then like try and land these short shots. I personally think he could have thrown the jab a lot more. He was being very hesitant with the jab. He wasn't relying on the jab as much as he should have. I mean, considering the damage he already did to Pavlovich, he could have done a lot more damage if he worked off the back of that jab. And Pavlovich still looked dangerous. He was still allowing Pavlovich to lunge forward with those looping shots in a way. Pavlovich didn't seem to land a glove on Volkov. It was very, very one-sided. At the end of the fight, we saw Volkov try and go over to Pavlovich to say, you know what, thank you for a good fight, blah, blah, blah. Fucking shoved him off. The man was pissed off, all right? I don't know what's happened. They used to be sparring partners. They used to train together. Once again, there is not really much to say about this fight. It was just, Volkov just absolutely demolished Sergey Pavlovich, which I can't say I expected. But coming on to the most important part of this video, the most important result of last night. Bobby Knuckles knocked out Aliskerov in 1 minute and 49 seconds. This man is disgraceful. This man is the most dangerous middleweight in the division. Mark my words, this man is going to win the world title. He will most likely be fighting the winner of the fight in mid-August between Dricus du Plessis and Israel Adesanya. Let's have a little watch of the finish, shall we?
Last week he was going to be in a co-main event. Tonight he's in the main event. There's potential, and someone sees that you have.
Now, instantly, Whittaker throws that jab forward, putting Whittaker on the front foot. Now, Whittaker's got control of the octagon. Whittaker's making it smaller. So, Aliskerov throws this leg kick down here, which Bobby just eats, by the way. He eats that leg kick. This allows him to just lunge forward and throw that jab. So, this is what I meant about Volkov. If he used a jab, he could have sat in the middle of the ring, let Pavlovich do all of the work, move around him, pivot around him, and then Volkov could have just absolutely teed off from there. Now, you watch here. Whittaker lands this beautiful right hand over the top. Wobbles in. Backs off. You fucking beauty. If that head kick landed... Oh. Now, Dana actually came out in the post-fight press conference and said that Aliskerov had trained a full camp because he was meant to be fighting on the last event, the last co-main event, of last week's card or the card before. Granted, Aliskerov has had all this time off, 5 of his last 6 scheduled bouts being cancelled. I know he has had a lot of time off, but the man had a full camp. That just shows the absolute class of Robert Whittaker. That shows where he is right now in the middleweight division. It shows how dangerous he is. All right. The only loss that Aliskerov has had was against Khamzat Chimaev, and Khamzat Chimaev actually came out and said that Aliskerov was one of his toughest fights, and Bobby Knuckles knocked him out in the first 2 minutes of the fight, made it look easy. I don't know about you, but I think that Bobby Knuckles is going to be the next middleweight champion. I think he beats Adesanya or du Plessis at the moment. Adesanya obviously in a run of bad form. I seriously think du Plessis is a tougher fight than Israel Adesanya for Robert Whittaker. But until du Plessis and Adesanya fight, we will not know. This opens up questions about Khamzat Chimaev. If Bobby wants that title shot, I don't think it will be until early next year. Think about it. DDP and Adesanya are fighting in August. Bob Whittaker is fighting 2 months before that, essentially. So does Bobby Whittaker want to have a huge gap in between fights? Because the winner of the du Plessis-Adesanya fight will not be fighting until early next year, meaning that Bobby Knuckles will have to wait. So possibly there is an opportunity for the Khamzat Chimaev fight to actually occur. Whether that will be made, I do not know. It seems a bit unfair considering that Bobby Knuckles has just won a fight and Chimaev would just go straight into this fight with Bobby Knuckles. And then the next opportunity is a title shot. I mean, I don't know. But Robert Whittaker is now ranked 3rd in the middleweight division. So who else is there for him to fight? So here we have the middleweight rankings. Sean Strickland is ranked 1st. Israel Adesanya is second. Robbie Whittaker is third. So potentially we could have a Robert Whittaker versus Sean Strickland matchup to then fight the winner of Duplessis Adesanya, which I'm not even gonna lie, I would fucking love to see that fight. Also, Bobby Whittaker's just beat Paulo Costa, and so has Sean Strickland. So that could be a realistic fight for the title shot. These are both two very tough fights for Robert Whittaker. He's too smart. He's too complicated. Now, could this be something that we see in the future? We will have to wait and see, but I will be doing a video on Sean Strickland versus Robert Whittaker, okay? I will predict how that fight outcome will go, and I will analyze some of Robert Whittaker's fights and some of Sean Strickland's striking also. Now, if you enjoyed today's video, please smash those like and subscribe buttons, and please do not forget to put notification bells on for updates on daily videos. Sometimes you get 2 videos a day, so be sure to put that notification bell on. I've been a Not So Combat Specialist because I suck. Peace out. Fuck Hamzat Chimaev.